We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've been on the road from the go. Hit my glove, you know. We've been down for too long to give up. Can't go, I need all pesos, want it all. Can't out to the wall, can't hold to the ball game over. These boys can't hold me, you boys can't hold us. I told you, better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Hope College freshman, Mr. Adrian.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eliseo Bastillos.
Nicely done. Good job, man. Good job. Well done, brother. Nice job.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here in the campus of Hope College for today's men's varsity contest between the Bulldogs of Adrian College and your Hope College Flying Dutchman. Here this afternoon's starting lineups. First at one forward for the Bulldogs, the 6'1 sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 1, Jordan Harris. And at one forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'5 senior from Flint, number 15, Dennis Towns. At one forward for the Bulldogs, a 6'4 freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 2, Dantes Rayner. And at one forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'5 senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 32, Teddy Ray. Starting at center for the Bulldogs, a 6'5 junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 35, Jeremy Kalanji. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6 sophomore from Lansing, number 51, Preston Granger. At one guard for the Bulldogs, a 6-foot junior from Lafayette, Indiana, number 4, Trayshawn Hurd. And at one guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11 junior from Williamston, number 22, Riley Lewis. And at the final guard spot for the Bulldogs, a 5'11 sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 21, Sam Colbert. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11 senior from Shelby, number 1, Jason Beckman. Head coach for Adrian College is Kyle Lindsay. Head coach for Hope College is Greg Mitchell. Your officials for this afternoon, Mr. Mike Hillary, Mr. Paul Durkee, and Mr. Ryan Huber.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's MIAA men's basketball game between the Hope College Flying Dutchmen and the Adrian College Bulldogs. I'm Bergeron Crispin alongside Carly Vanswell and Bryce Robinson, joining you inside DeVos Fieldhouse on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Holland, Michigan. Guys, thanks for being here. Bryce, keys to the game for this Adrian team.
You know what? This Adrian team has been really underperforming with the amount of returners that they have from last year, the level of skill that they have. Like I said, Wednesday night, the MIAA is no slouch, so they're really going to have to up their game if they want to beat the Dutch tonight.
Thank you, Bryce and Carly. Keys to the game for this Hope team.
For the Dutch, it's going to come to those second chance opportunities. On the Wednesday against the Calvin Knights, they just got destroyed on the boards, having way fewer second chance opportunities. Good move right there from Preston and Lewis, good 1-2 combination. But we know their shooting percentage is not up there, so they need to take some high quality shots and rebound. And
talking about high quality shots, Granger gets the inside shot to go. Hope jumps out to a 2-0 early lead. Ball swings out to the outside. This Adrian team struggling, winless so far in conference, looking to get in the win column this afternoon in front of a raucous crowd at DeVos Fieldhouse. Towns working on defense. Pass goes out, 2 seconds on the shot clock. 3-point attempt is up and no good, but an offensive rebound. Carly, just like you're talking about, getting beaten on the boards, and Adrian will reset. Ball swings on the outside, driving inside. Ball's tipped around and corralled by Hurd. Beckman working on defense. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hurd with it now, swings it outside, working on Towns. Shot is up, no good. That's rebounded by the Dutch. Beckman with it now on the perimeter, look for somewhere to go. Ray wasn't paying attention, ball's tipped and corralled by Riley Lewis. Beckman with it now, swings it down to Towns. Granger top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Beckman drives, hangs, shots up, no good, but he's fouled and he'll head to the charity stripe for 2.
And so far, an encouraging start for the Dutch. We saw it on the defensive end with a lot of high-intensity team defense down there, not allowing any good shots for the Bulldogs, and right away getting a good shot from Granger, and now Beckman at the line, who we know is one of the best free throw shooters on this team. So just an encouraging start overall from the Dutch.
You know, I have to agree, Carly. Really, we're seeing a lot of aggressive play from both teams. However, it seems the Dutch have been really effective on the defensive set so far.
So Adrian brings it across the timeline, 4-0 the Hope lead. Ball swings out to the perimeter. Nice inside pass. And the layup is no good by Sam Colbert.
Especially with a play like that, you have to get points from such a such an unorthodox, such an aggressive push on the offense there.
And Riley Lewis lights up the scoreboard for 3. It's 7-0. Certainly a nice turnaround for this Hope team. Last time they were in DeVos, they were down 30-8 against Kalamazoo, so good to get going early. Granger with a good defensive play. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Adrian basketball.
You know, DeVos Fieldhouse really does have an energizing atmosphere to it, and it can work for both teams. And right now, so far, the Hope crowd has really been supporting the Dutchmen out on the court.
Ball kicks outside. 3-point field goal is off the rim for Jeremiah Kalanji, the junior forward from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Lewis kicks it to Ray. Ray from downtown, yes! 3 points for Teddy Ray. He's fired up. 10-0 this Hope lead.
And this is the fastest start that we've seen from the Dutch, and for John and Bryce, I don't know how long. So just really great to see the shots go down, some high-quality shots, a lot of good ball movement, and for it just work out for them today.
And Hope is coming off of a loss to Calvin, so it's good to see them getting out early and get some confidence behind this team. So the first points for Adrian belongs to Jordan Harris, the sophomore guard from Indianapolis. Teddy Ray now looks inside to Towns. Towns kicks outside. Lewis for three. Yes! Riley Lewis, 6 points on the afternoon.
And that's exactly what Dennis Towns needs to do. He needs to get open down low, and if he's got that one-on-one matchup, he's got to take it. But if that help defense come and crashes, there's someone open, and most likely it's someone from the wing, and you can't leave Riley Lewis open. I mean, his shooting percentage speaks for himself, and he'll make that shot every time. So great heads-up play from Towns and a better finish from Lewis.
Absolutely, that was definitely a comeback from Towns. Towns put up a great attempt at a block from the Adrian offense. He did end up getting in the way, and he got hands on that ball, but it did go, through the hoop there. So that's a great ability as an athlete to come back from something that was rather disappointing and to make things happen on the court.
So both teams come back out on the court, Hope with a 13-2 lead. And it is Treshawn Hurd, the junior from Lafayette, Indiana. He crosses the timeline, and Adrian working on offense now. Colbert kicks out to Kalanji. Little floater is up and good. Lewis with it now, finds Towns. Towns swings to Beckman. Beckman for three. No, rebound. There with it now. Three-point field goal is up and nothing but net. Hard.
Seems like the Bulls getting in a little bit of a rhythm themselves, making it work down low in the paint, but also get those outside shots. That's a big confidence booster.
And Bryce, I think that was a good timeout call from the Adrian coach. Just as I say that, Lewis hits a three. He is 9 on the afternoon. Little commentator's curse there, but in a good way. 16-7, the Hope lead. And the field goes up and good from Kalanji for three. So it was a 13-2 lead, is now only 6-2 fire from downtown. Lines up, and he can't get the mid-range jumper to go off the top of the backboard, and it's rebounded by Adrian.
I definitely think that it's important, if Adrian wants to stay in this game, to definitely answer every point that Hope puts up on the board. So far, the Dutch have been really explosive, being successful both on offense and defense. So it's definitely going to be important to definitely stay in the game here and not let any points go unanswered.
And Bryce, as you talk about going shot for shot, Jordan Harris nails the three. Lewis from downtown, he's feeling it, he can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Jeremy Kalanji from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Kalanji drives, and it's going to be a blocking foul on Preston Granger. So it's going to be the first foul on Preston Granger, the sophomore forward from Lansing. And it'll be the team's first coming to the game for the Dutch. It's Danny Beckman coming in for Preston Granger. Adrian to inbound. They find Harris, top of the perimeter. Harris pulls up just inside the arc, can't get to go. Rebound, it's Riley Lewis. It's a three-point game. Danny Beckman with it now, looking for somewhere to go, finds Lewis, base of the anchor, goes wide to Beckman. Beckman down to Towns. Towns pulls up with the jumper, no good, and it's rebounded by Jordan Harris. So Adrian with the chance to tie. Kalanji looking inside, and he has an opportunity to do just that, as the foul will be on Teddy Ray.
That's a great move by Kalanji right there. He saw that he was underneath the basket, collected the pass, came down on 2 feet in balance, and then made that move to get a better angle at the basket. That's a great job and a better finish and drawing the foul.
So it'll be a 30-second timeout for Coach Greg Mitchell, so we'll keep it here. Packed house at DeVos Fieldhouse, 14-11 remaining in this first half. It's a one-point game. It was 13-2. Now it's a one-point game. Bryce, as you talked about going shot for shot early on, what do you think is one or two keys that have kept this Adrian team in the game and really being 1 point away from tying it?
You know, Adrian has really been motivated to answer those calls. They're definitely motivated to try to close that gap. So now the question isn't going to be about a close game. Now it's going to see. Now we're going to have to see if Adrian really wants to step it up and try to get a large lead over the Dutch.
And Carly, how do you think Hope should, or what do you think Hope's going to respond with coming out of the timeout?
I think first of all, if the free throw doesn't need to rebound, but I think on the offense, got to keep get it into Towns, get it into Granger, let them do their thing, and if they get the double team, pass it back out. Their shooting percentage has been good so far in this game, so I think just keep doing. And I think Granger and Towns are going to be a big responsibility with that, trying to contain Kalanji down low.
So Kalanji completed the three-point play. It's 16-16. We're all tied. Beckman trying to find the ball. Body's on the floor. It's rebounded and corralled by Adrian. Little chaotic basketball there. Adrian drives inside. Ball on the perimeter. Good defense by Towns. Colbert pulls up for three, and he nails the tray to get Adrian its first lead of the afternoon. It's 19-16, 13:30 remaining in the first half. And Bryce, you talked about wanting to jump out to a lead out of the timeout, and they do so there with a three-point field goal. It's Jason Beckman with it to Ray. Towns finds Lewis, base of the anchor. Lewis drives inside, kicks out to Ray for the mid-range jumper, and he gets it to go. 19-18, back and forth. Here we go. 13 minutes remaining. Colbert, little stutter step move. And it's Hurd with it now, working on Beckman. Nolan Ansara. Colbert misses everything. Rebounded by Teddy Ray. Beckman thinks about it, goes inside to Towns. Towns working on Ansara. Nice little kick out pass to Ray, and it takes a Dutchman roll and finds the bottom of the basket for two. 20-19, Hope in front by one.
Ray's done a great job of seeking out those open pockets of space, and if a player's kind of in trouble, either picked up dribble or a double team, he just seems to find the perfect spot to get those little jumpers and allow the vision of that player to see him wide open.
And it's a traveling violation, and Granger comes into the game, as well as Calvin Hackert for the Dutch. So the Dutch going small. On the floor, it's Granger, Hackert, Ray, Beckman, and Beckman. Beckman crosses the timeline over to Hackert. Hackert's double team finds Danny Beckman, back to Hackert. Beckman drives right, puts the ball on the floor, kicks out to Hackert. Hackert drives up with the left hand and gets it to go. 22-19, Calvin Hackert.
I was a little shocked Hackert didn't take the wide open three, but did a great job of driving to the lane, creating himself some space, and getting the easy layup. Absolutely.
Hackert definitely got skinny on that one. Long strides, got skinny, kind of penetrated that defense, and was able to hop it up for a score there.
So 22-19, 11 minutes and change remaining in the first half. It's Hackert with it now. He crosses the timeline on the base of the anchor. Look for somewhere to go. Finds Teddy Ray along the perimeter by the Adrian bench. It's Beckman with it now. Over to Beckman. Hackert thinks about it. Over to Ray. Ray pulls up from three. Can't get it to go. Tipped out by Granger. Beckman with the jumper, and he gets it to go. Those second chance points and the rebound and Carlos you talked about early on in the keys to the game. Boding them well. It's a 5-point lead.
Definitely on that last offensive set, there was a great display of game sense from Granger there. Honestly, love watching that guy play. He's great off the court as well. So excellent play by the two Dutchmen there.
And Bryce, you're absolutely right. Granger, huge part of this offense. It's Beckman who finds Granger. Granger with the right hand, and he gets it to go. And it's going to be a full timeout from Kyle Lindsay in his third season at the helm for Adrian. 26-19, the Hope lead. 10:57 remaining in the first half. We'll step away right after this.
You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning, it's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Welcome back inside the Moss Fieldhouse on a beautiful Saturday afternoon on the campus of Hope College. For John Crispin alongside Carly Van Swoll and Bryce Robinson. 7-point lead for the Dutch team, 26-19. It was a 13-2 lead. Then you saw Adrian come back with a couple of big 3-point shots. So 10:57 remaining in the first half. And coming out of the timeout, Bryce, I think that was a good move by head coach Kyle Lindsey in his 3rd season at the helm. What do you think he was telling his players inside that huddle?
Really, just kind of guesstimate as an athlete myself. It's about keeping yourself mentally in the game. You got to keep your heart in the game as well. You have to be able to stay in that game. A little physical, a bit of physicality there at the court. The Dutchmen are definitely not pleased with that call. But as for the Adrian's coach, it's about staying in that game and taking it to the Dutchmen. It's for a while there it became a battle of attrition, trading blows, trading points. But I definitely think as we get into deeper into the game, we'll see a bit more of a definitive answer on who will pull through.
So fouls on Danny Beckman, his first, 26-19. And it's Jeremy Kalonji, the junior forward from Fort Wayne, Indiana, 6'5" forward at the line. He makes the field goal. So Beckman brings it across the timeline. Little screen from Granger. Beckman being guarded by Jordan Harris. Beckman to Ray. Ray to Hackert. Hackert looking for somewhere to go, being pressured. It's Beckman. Beckman little drive inside, kicks out to Ray, and Ray gets it to go. So Carly just talked about Teddy Ray being able to find those openings, being a key asset on offense. 28-20. Nice spin move up off the glass, can't get it to go. For Kylan Giroux, the freshman guard from Fort Wayne.
In that last offensive set, we saw 2 Adrian players on the court. That's definitely not going to be a positive thing for your offense there. You have to be able to keep your feet, be able to stay up, know where your center of gravity is, know where your base is. So I think it's definitely a technique thing there that failed the Bulldogs in that offensive set.
Just over 10 minutes remaining. 28-20. Hackert hands it off to Beckman. He hands it off to his brother, Beckman. Jason with it now. Looks for somewhere to go. Goes inside to Granger. Granger off the glass. Can't get to go. Granger in it to rebound. Ball's on the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball in possession. Will go to Adrian. So nice hustle by Preston Granger, but the ball will go the other way.
Trying to front Granger.
It's Colbert to inbound to Jordan Harris, the sophomore guard.
Just a little update for our Hope friends back at home. The girls are at Calvin today, currently up 13-10 in the beginning of the second quarter.
Harris with it, kicks outside to Kalonji. Kalonji working on Ray. Little stutter step move. Goes up with the right hand, can't get it to go. And Carly talked about high percentage shots. Maybe that was you, Bryce. When you guys talk about high percentage shots, and not a smart shot there from Kalonji.
Oh, and great defense by Teddy Ray of not fouling but staying in front.
Hackert drives inside, nice move. But he takes an extra step, and Hackert knows it. And coming into the game for the Dutch, it's Jake Conan, the defensive specialist. Riley Lewis. And number 33, Jeff Gorel, the 6'4" senior from Palos Park, Illinois. Coming into the game for the Bulldogs is number 24, Kashawn White Morris, the junior forward from Ypsilanti. I'm probably mispronouncing that.
Ypsilanti.
Ypsilanti. My apologies to the citizens there. Colbert puts a little shake and bake on Lewis, hands it off. It's Ansara from downtown, can't get it to go. That's rebounded by Goro, hands it off to Lewis. Lewis pushing the floor across the timeline, looking for somewhere to go. Lewis with the right hand kicks off to Hackert. Hackert from downtown, nothing but net for Calvin Hackert. 31-20, the lead is 11. Coach Mitchell fired up, as is this DeVos crowd. A sellout on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Hurd off the top of the glass gets it to go. Excuse me, that was Harris. Jordan Harris, the sophomore guard.
Now Harris has 10.
He's the only Bulldog player in double figures. Hackert from downtown, he'll try it again, and he gets it to go. Calvin Hackert, 34-22. Hackert with 8. Ansara loses control of the ball.
Got lucky on that play. I mean, everyone was kind of excited about that shot, walking back on defense, and the Bulldogs looked to push, which was a smart job, but somehow didn't draw the foul on that play and went in favor for the Dutch.
Yeah, the Dutch got beat in transition and still managed to come away with the turnover.
Definitely, that's the thing of learning from your mistakes there. I've seen in plenty of basketball games, men and women's, come off of a great shot, a really exciting moment, and to be able to come back and block offensive move is definitely a thing of experience.
Coral looking for somewhere to go, finds Honer. Honer drives up off the glass with the right hand and gets it to go. Jake Honer finds his first points of the game. It's 36-22, 7 minutes and change remaining in the first half.
And Berjan, you said it right when you subbed in, and we've said it this whole season, that Honer's just typically known as being that defensive specialist, but it's exciting to see him grow in the last couple games of having more confidence on the offensive end, and he would not have even attempted that kind of shot in the first couple games that he played in.
Developing his repertoire as a player, something Coach Greg Mitchell does so well and develops these players throughout their career here at Hope. Harris can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Hackert.
Definitely, it's important to develop your skill. It's important to refine your ability as far as the season goes. Throughout the entire length of the season, it's an opportunity to learn, and it's great to see that from the Hope men's team.
Lewis thinks about it with a little floater, and he gets it to go. It's Riley Lewis for 2. He has 11 now. And it's Harris pushing the floor across the time. Colbert working on Lewis. And it goes back to number 24, Wyatt Morris. Over to Harris. Harris to Colbert. Colbert, pop shots, can't get it to go, but it's rebounded by Ansara. The shot is up. And good for Jordan Harris. And it's going to be a full timeout for the Adrian Bulldogs. 38-25, 6:16 remaining in the first half. We'll step away from our sponsors, Lawrence and Vanderswart. Financial planning done right.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Back inside the Boss Fieldhouse for John Crispin alongside Carly Van Swoll and Bryce Robinson. 6:16 remaining in this first half. Both teams comes onto the floor. Fans, make sure to download the free mobile app. Get the latest score update statistics and game recaps on your phone from the new free Hope Athletics Front Row mobile app. You set the preferences. Search Hope Athletics on the App Store, Google Play, or learn more at athletics.hope.edu/front front row. Bryce, what are you going to be looking from this Hope team coming out of the break?
I think it's definitely important for Hope to definitely adapt their style of play to Adrian, find out where their weaknesses are. That pass definitely seemed to be a little weak there, but it's important to always adapt and always change your style of play so then Adrian doesn't get an upper hand by analyzing you. It's definitely a game of change. So it's going to be important for Hope to definitely adapt to Adrian, find out what new things are coming, and find out how to deal with those quickly.
When you talk about the change, it's Wyatt Morris with the left hand off the top of the glass. It's Beckman being worked on. Wild shot. He's up and no good. But he's fouled. Things getting a little tense here at DeVos.
Oklahoma foul number 15, Dennis Towns.
15, Dennis Towns, his first.
Team's fourth.
Team's fourth.
You know, I do have to say this has been a surprisingly clean game so far. Not in the matter of sportsmanship clean, but fouling. Very low fouling so far in this game.
First free throw is up and good. Probably come out of the break. What do you think? Coach Kyle Lindsay said to his players in the timeout. It was pretty emphatic timeout call.
And I think maybe that was just, I mean, they had a big three down there, so maybe it's just to see what can happen when we move the ball, when we get open. And they're really relying heavily on Harris, who has 13 points, and Caldoni down low. But they need to get some more players involved. I mean, Hurd had 15 points in their last game, and he's been non-existent so far in this game. So offensively, they need more guys to step up. And, I mean, defensively, these are the kind of plays that they should be making to kind of dwindle at this lead. But they just need to get the ball moving and take a lot more high-quality shots.
It's a Hope turnover, leads to an Adrian offensive possession. And a 30-second timeout for Kyle Lindsay. He's fired up in his third season at the helm. Adrian winless so far in conference. We'll keep it right here. 5 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the first half. Packed crowd here. Free poster giveaway, Bryce. You gonna get a poster?
You know what? I'd really like one. You know, the department's looking a little bare right now down at Parkview, so definitely spice things up a little bit.
38-29, the Hope lead. So, Carly, Adrian just called a timeout, and they just called another one back to back. What do you think the strategy, the reason behind that was?
I mean, I think it makes sense. They had number 24 blinking at his name. Wyatt Morris was down low, trapped, and probably could have turned into a turnover or jump ball towards Hope. So it's just kind of a smart timeout. Get yourself a baseline out of bounds play and give your guys a better shot at an offensive set.
So Adrian with only 2 timeouts left in the half. Nice pass inside, kicks outside. It's Harris for 3. Can't get it to go. Looks like it was off the hands of Towns, but it'll go to Hope. Coming to the lineup for the Dutch, it is Jason Beckman coming in for Honer. 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the first half. Adrian keeping it reasonably close. It's Beckman being worked on by Treshawn Hurd. Danny Beckman with it now, swings out to Lewis. Lewis being worked on by Colbert. He's double teamed, trying to find somewhere to go. Heaves cross court to Jason Beckman. Danny thinks about it, drives. Ray to Lewis. Lewis goes behind the back, pulls up. Yes, Riley Lewis for 2. 40-29. Giving this hometown crowd something to cheer about. 4 minutes and change remaining. It's Colbert with it now.
I think we're definitely seeing this awkward moment in the scoring where Adrian feels a pressure that they're just so close behind. They have the opportunity to take a lead and to build a lead. There's definitely a pressure on both teams, on Hope to keep that lead and on Adrian to kind of stay kind of right behind Hope in their blind spot because I've seen it before. Teams can definitely sneak up on you, and they will absolutely pounce when they see the chance.
And Towns goes up, but he can't get to fall, but he's fouled, so he'll head to the charity stripe. The foul is on number 21, Sam Colbert, the sophomore guard from Indianapolis, Indiana, his second, team's third. So Bryce, you're talking about being far, staying out of foul trouble. And Towns is on the line to shoot 2. And the first shot is up and good. Coming into the game for the Bulldogs, it's number 12, Caleb Ballantyne, the 6'1" freshman guard from Butler, Indiana.
We definitely got to compliment Towns. That first shot, there's a beautiful arch. Definitely a work of art.
Bryce Robinson appreciating the little things in life. Can't get the second one to go. And it's Hurd with it now, being worked on by his counterpart, Danny Beckman. Wyatt Morris, nice inside pass to Hurd, but it's off. It's off. Hope basketball.
And that's a good backdoor cut by Harris, but that pass has got to be a bounce pass because Beckman's hand is in the passing lane, and he'll trip up that chest pass every time.
And Carla, that's a good job by Beckman, keeping his hands in the passing lane, being aware defensively of where the ball was at. It's Lewis, goes inside. Talking about passing lanes, wasn't exactly the greatest pass, but it's corralled by Towns. Goes out of bounds. And the foul is on Ballantyne, so he quickly comes into the game, picks up his first foul, and Hope will inbound left side underneath the basket. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Pass goes out to Teddy Ray. It's Towns with it now, being worked on by Wyatt Morris. Towns goes behind the back, swings down to Beckman. Beckman, little floater, can't get it to go. Tipped around, Ray with it now to Beckman. Beckman to Ray. Ray with the jumper, and he can't get it to go. Ballantyne with it now, crosses the timeline, working on Lewis. Kalanji, nice inside pass to Wyatt Morris, and he gets it to go. And the lead is now 10 for this Dutch team. Lewis with it now. Gets a screen from Towns. Goes wide on the perimeter to Beckman. Pass a little too far in front for Towns, and it's intercepted by Harris. Harris comes down the court, got away with a carry a little bit. The refs in the stands wanted a whistle, didn't get one. And it's Jashawn Hurd with it now. Hurd on the outside, gives it to Harris. Harris, nice little spin move, but he's stripped by Lewis. Lewis pushing the floor, drives up, can't get it to go. And it's Towns for 2. 43-31, listen to this crowd.
You could see the slight disappointment in Towns' eyes, knowing that he couldn't finish the dunk, but kind of got lucky in the bounce around the rim to get the 2-point bucket to go.
Doesn't always have to look pretty.
No, but that's exactly why you follow every shot.
And the 3-point attempt is up and good. It's Jeremy Kalanji, the junior forward from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He is 12 and he's in double figures. It's Lewis with it to Beckman. Beckman goes inside to Towns. Towns working Wyatt Morris. Cuts outside to Lewis. Beckman for 3. Can't get it to go. That's rebounded by Wyatt Morris. Teams trading punches, just over a minute remaining in the first half. It's 43-34. Bryce, what are you looking for from Adrian as they close out the end of the first half? Working some technical difficulties. Question goes to Carly.
Can you repeat your question? I'm trying to help Bryce out.
No worries. Back. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kalanji for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebounded. It's Kalanji. And he's fouled. And coming into the game for the Dutch, it is Granger, Gorel, and Calvin Hackert. So Adrian to inbound. Harris for 3. No. Rebound. Granger. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Game clock and shot clock. Lewis drives. Goes outside to Beckman. Beckman corrals the errant pass and is working on number 13, Kylan Giroux, the freshman guard from Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's Lewis from downtown, and he gets it to go. Riley Lewis.
NBA 3.
That was from way downtown. Shot clock turned off, 20 seconds remaining. It's Harris with it now on the perimeter. being worked on by Beckman. Colbert with it, and now it's down. It's inside, and Kalanji beats Jeff Gorel, excuse me, and it's Lewis. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis can't get to go. He's stripped. 3-point attempt is up and no good by Jordan Harris. So we reach the end of the first half. It's been wild and chaotic. We're one at the same time. 46-35, the Hope lead. We'll be back after 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder to stick around after the game for your chance to meet the Flying Dutchman. Immediately following the conclusion of the game, you are invited onto the court to receive a Hope men's basketball poster as well as autographs from the team. A special thank you to Skir Printing for their generosity in support of Hope College athletics. review your individual scoring stats in the first half. First for the Bulldogs of Adrian College, number 21, Sam Colbert with 3 points. Number 24, Keyshawn Wyatt Morris with 4 points. Number 35, Jeremy Kalanchi with 14 points. And team high honors for number 1, Jordan Harris, leading the way for the Bulldogs in the first half with 15 points. For the Flying Dutchman, number 20, Jake Motor with 2 points. Number 15, Dennis Towns with 3 points. Number 51, Preston Granger, and number 1, Jason Beckman, both with 4 points. Number 23, Calvin Hackett with 8 points. Number 32, Teddy Ray with 9 points. And team and game high honors to number 22, Ryan Lewis, leading the way in the first half for the Flying Dutchman with 16 points.
set to start the second half. I'm Brajan Crispin alongside Carly Vanswell and Bryce Robinson will join us just shortly. It's a 46-36 10-point Hope lead after the break. Hope was shooting 13 for 19. Excuse me, that was Adrian shooting 13 for 19, 44% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc and 80% from the charity stripe. And for Hope, shooting 66.7%, much better than the last time about against Calvin, and 63.6% from beyond the arc at 7 for 11, large in part to Teddy Ray and Riley Lewis. And they were 75%, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe for the first half. As we get set to go, Bryce, as we bring you in, thanks for being here. What is Hope's keys to the second half?
You know, definitely for Hope is going to be really setting, you know, kind of laying down the hammer, saying, you know, enough is enough. Really coming out here and leaving no doubt. I think it's important for them to really try and leave Adrian, the Bulldogs, in the dust, and we'll see if they can really pull through with that strategy.
And Bryce, just you talk about putting the pedal to the floor. Jason Beckman hits a big three. And it's Jordan Harris who answers. And joined alongside is Carly Vanswell joining us in the broadcast booth, doing a great job as always. Carly, keys to the second half for Adrian. What do you got?
I think their big thing is they got to keep working with those backdoor cuts. That's worked a lot, or opened up a lot of their offense so far, especially in the second half of that first half. Work those backdoor cuts, but I'd also love to see them on the defensive end. For a couple possessions, they threw a trap defense up at Lewis and Beckman and threw them off significantly, and both made some horrible passes. I mean, Beckman got tripped up and it was a jump ball. Lewis made a lofty pass that could have been intercepted, so to throw that a little bit more at the Dutch, I think could mix them up greatly.
Carly Vanswell bringing her A game as she does every single contest. The best in the biz. It's number 4. Deshaun Hurd can't get to go, but we're going to get a foul. I'm sure who's against. And the foul's going to be on Dantes Rayner of Adrian. Take a look at the replay here. Trying to find, and he hooks Teddy Ray. So that's going to be his first, team's first of the second half. Just under 2 minutes gone by in the second half. 49-39. It's a 10-point Hope lead. Beckman brings it across the timeline, working on Hurd. He drives, pulls up from the elbow. Yes, Jason Beckman for 2. Nothing but net. Beckman with 9 points on the afternoon. And the running layup is up and good from Treshawn Hurd. So Bryce, you talked about early on in the first half, or later on in the first half, excuse me, you talked about teams having big plays and failing to get back on defense, letting up a basket. You saw that right there with Hope scoring, and then Hurd coming back to get the point, and it's Jeremy Kalanji with a one-handed slam. 51-43, 17:45 left in half number 2. Adrian showing they're not going away yet, and we'll get a foul. That's going to be on Treshawn Hurd. He's not happy with the call.
And this was the type of urgency that the Bulldogs were missing in that first half. I mean, urgency on the offensive end and on the defensive end, just cranking up that intensity. And it starts with defense. I mean, if your defense is up and fiery and you're moving on transition, things are going to open up for you.
Kyle Lindsay not happy with the call, screaming at the officials. Preston Granger, he's double teamed, finds Ray to Beckman. Beckman pulls up from the elbow, can't get it to go, but it's rebounded. There's a ball on the floor, and Teddy Ray's manhandled, but he calls a timeout. Things getting a little tense here. 51-43. That's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Take a look at the replay. Loose ball on the floor. Great awareness by Ray as he's being fouled to call a timeout and retain possession. 17:25 left in half number 2. Packed crowd here. It's poster giveaway on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Update on the girls' game. Hope is up 25-21. 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Hoping they pull out of Van Noord Arena with a W.
You know, I think we're definitely seeing a lot of the same intensity that we saw at the last 2 minutes of that first quarter. The last two minutes were quite an exciting part of the game, and we're seeing a little bit of that here to bleed into the second half. So we'll be looking forward to see how each team responds to this newfound spurt of energy.
And just talk about a newfound spurt of energy. It's a fast break for Adrian. Ball goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Bulldogs. Time for a quick shout out. Shout out to my mom, Kim Crispin. Happy birthday. January 12th, special day. Appreciate you. Love you. You only get that once a year, so it's special. I'll see you next year. It's Colbert for 3. And that misses everything. And Beckman, the outlet pass to Lewis. Lewis pulls up, slows things down to Beckman. Beckman tries to spin. He's met by a wall of Bulldogs. Off the glass, trying to find Granger. Errant pass, and it's turned over. It's Hurd. Drives inside on Ray. Kicks outside. Harris for 3. My goodness. Jordan Harris has been the backbone of this offense, hitting key shot after key shot, really keeping his team in the game, and it's 51-46.
Yeah, and he's got 21 points, just kind of proving your point right there.
Beckman tries to answer, and he does. It's Jason Beckman for 3. Trying to get him going. 12 points so far in the contest. 16:34 remaining in the second half. It's Kalonji working on Towns. Pulls up his dribble, hands it off to Hurd. Hurd drives hard with the left hand off the glass. Can't get to go. Strong rebound by Teddy Ray. Lewis trying to push the floor, finds Beckman. Beckman will try again. Why not? Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Granger. Lewis for 3, and he can't get it to go. Ball last touched by Adrian, a mental error. Kyle Lindsay can't believe it. 16:10 remaining, and Ansar will come back into the game.
You know, as a coach, I'd be pretty disappointed too. However, you know, things like this happen. You get out of position. We get in trying to get, you know, secure control. So definitely a moment to be upset about.
And the foul is going to be on Jordan Harris. Little push in the back to Teddy Ray. Excuse me, it was Towns.
Yep, I was going to say, I think it's Towns.
And Teddy Ray to inbound, left side of the basket. Beckman with it now, trying to find Towns. Lindsay berating the officials. He's got to watch out. He'll get himself teed up. Not what this team needs right now. And the three-point attempt is off the front of the rim for Harris, but rebounded by Hurd. Hurd trying to find somewhere to go. Picks up his dribble, finds Harris. Harris goes inside to Kalonji. No whistle. This hometown crowd wanted a charge. Doesn't get it. It's a 2-point field goal for Kalonji. My goodness, you can just feel the energy in the air. I'm tense just sitting here. 15:25 left in the second half. It's Lewis, goes behind the back, pulls up, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Colbert. Nice inside move, and Lewis is going to pick up the foul. Nice little stutter step, causing Lewis to get out of transition, or get out of position rather, and pick up the foul. And Calvin Hackert comes into the game. And we'll get a timeout call for Greg Mitchell. And it's going to be a full timeout. 54-48, 15:15 remaining in the second half, live from DeVos Fieldhouse. We'll be back right after this.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, you know, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
Back inside the DeVos Fieldhouse, 54-48, the Hope lead. 15:15 remaining in the second half. Hope came out trying to put the foot on the gas, as alluded to by the one and only Bryce Robinson, bringing the best analysis day in and day out. And Adrian found themselves back in the game thanks to a pair of big field goals by Harris, and Kalonji with the emphatic one-handed slam on the court. For the Dutch, it's Granger, Ray, Towns, Hackert, and Beckman. Colbert with it, swings it out to Harris. Harris puts a little move on Beckman, hands it off to Ansara. Ansara with it now, working on Granger. Kick out pass. It's Hurd. Hurd swings it out. Colbert for three, and that misses everything.
You know, this is the third, by different Adrian players, this is the third air ball in this half. You kind of have to ask, you know, are they, it's like you're trying to prod, trying to find where the basket is, and really at this level, you really have to be able to at least, you know, hit the rim, hit the glass at this level. So kind of disappointing shots from the Bulldogs so far.
And an air ball never looks good no matter what age group it is. I've shot plenty of those in my basketball career. That's why I retired. Let's switch to the broadcast booth. It's Goral for three. He can't get to go. Strong rebound attempt by Granger, but the ball's last touch by Granger goes out of bounds. It'll be Adrian basketball. 14:38 remaining in the second half.
I absolutely know how that feels. You know, my main thing with basketball was all through. That's why I picked up wrestling, and I'll tell you what, I never looked back.
Kind of fundamental to the game.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at the replay there. And it's Hurd with it to Ansara. Ansara working on Granger. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's Harris working on Beckman. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Harris puts a little move on Goral. Tries to go, and the ball is out of bounds. It's a kicking violation on the Hope basketball. It's a great defensive pressure there.
Yeah, that's the best defensive pressure that Hope's had this half with 14 minutes to go. Jeff Goral coming off the bench and chipping up the Bulldogs. Great way to contribute right away.
Jeff Goral recently engaged, so congrats to the big man from Palos Park, Illinois. Beckman with it now, trying to find somewhere to go, finds Hacker on top of the perimeter, hands it off to Ray, they swing it down to Goral. Goral tries to go inside to Granger, ill-advised pass falls at the feet of the Bulldogs. It's Harris with it now, trying to corral things. It's Kalanji, puts a little move on Goral. Spin move, hits the triangle button on the Xbox, goes inside, and it's up off the glass and no good. It's Harris for three. He falls down, but he'll get a foul call and we'll head to the charity stripe to shoot three.
That foul is going to be called on 23, Calvin Hacker.
John, I think you're looking for the Y button, not the triangle.
Is it the Y, the triangle?
Well, I mean, you said Xbox.
That explains why I always lose.
Yeah. No, wait a second. Something doesn't add up here. No.
54-48, 13:37 remaining in this contest.
Harris about 59% from the line.
Make it a little bit lower as he misses that one.
Get a little noise from the Holland youth way across on the opposite side of the Dutchman.
They can be brutal.
And the second shot is up and good. Coming back into the game for the Dutch, it is Sam Vree. And for the Bulldogs, it's 24, Wyatt Morris. Morris with 4 points on the game.
Sam Vree is just usually someone we see a lot in that first half coming off the bench, and lately haven't really seen him. In the Calvin game, didn't make much appearance. Had a couple stints in the game, but kind of interesting to see him not come in until the second half.
And if he's injured or nursing an injury or something like that, but good to see him in the lineup for Greg Mitchell. Beckman brings it across the timeline, being worked on by Hurd. He swings it out to Hackert. Hackert caught the hot hand early in the first half with a couple of threes. It's Teddy Ray to Beckman. Beckman drives inside, kicks out to Hackert. Hacker for three. Yes! Calvin Hacker for three. 57-50. He has 11 on the afternoon. Talk about clutch shooting. That's Wyatt Morris to Ansar, looking for somewhere to go.
Calvin Hacker 3 for 3 from the three-point line today.
You know, something Coach Sturzman will always say with football is that in order to achieve extraordinary things, you need extraordinary athletes to achieve them. So I think really Coach Mitchell is trying to maybe change up the player dynamic between these athletes and try to get different combinations to achieve, you know, a better score for the Dutchman.
And it's good defensive pressure. Leads to a 30-second shot clock. Excuse me, I was thinking about the NBA. 30-second shot clock violation in the NCAA. Beckman brings it across the timeline to Teddy Ray. Teddy Ray finds Hackert the hot hand. Hackert goes back to Ray. Ray tries to go inside to Bree. Nobody's home, but it's corralled by Goral. Hackert goes to Bree. Bree, a little push in the back. No foul call. This crowd can't believe it. It's Hurd, brings it across the timeline. Being worked on by Goral. A little switch leads to a lapse in defense. But it's to no avail. The shot was no good. And Sara thinks about it, kicks it off to Colbert. Hurd. And it's in Sara now on the top of the perimeter. Back to Colbert being worked on by Hackert. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Colbert pulls up, tries to go off the backboard. The bank was not open, and it's Hackert who calms things down. 11 minutes and change remaining in the second half.
Yeah, I really hate it when banks have shorter hours on the weekends. So thankfully it worked out for the Dutch. We do have a little bit of a junior Dew crew here, definitely cheering on the Dutchmen here at DeVos.
Always good to see the young ones out in full force. Colbert thinks about it. It's Hurd with it now. It goes down low to Wyatt Morris, being worked on by Bree. Ball goes back up top to Goral. And now it's Ansara being worked on by Goral. Shot is up and good. No good, excuse me. It's rebounded by Goral. Jumped the gun a little bit there. It's Beckman. Teddy Ray. Mr. Robinson giving me a hard time in the booth as always. Ball stripped out of bounds.
Hey, no worries. If we can't have a good time, why do it at all?
Coming back into the game for the Bulldogs, it is Kalanji, Harris, and Caleb Ballantyne, their freshman guard from Butler, Indiana. Honer coming back into the game. Carly, you mentioned a defensive specialist, but building his repertoire as an offensive player. Had some key shots early on in the first half. Honer with it now. Coach Lindsay wanted to push up, still asking about the officials. And Sara thinks about it, being worked on by Bree. Ball goes out of bounds, turnover. It'll be Hope basketball.
You know, no 2-foot pass is ever good, and especially in that kind of moment right there. Everyone was kind of jammed up. You see replay of that last possession right there. But 2-foot pass, Honer's in that passing lane. That's not a thing. That's not a pass that you need to make.
You know, and something I've noticed is that, you know, both teams have had unsatisfactory, calls. And they're not happy with some of the calls, but I think it's important, especially for the Bulldogs, to kind of, start to get past, to realize we're going to have some chances. There are going to be some moments where the play is going to go our way. It's definitely important for them to definitely play above the striped man on the court.
And the ball goes out of bounds after the Hackert float attempt. And it's going to belong to the Bulldogs of Adrian. Adrian coming in is 3-11 on the season, 0-3 in MIAA play. On Wednesday, the Bulldogs lost at home to Trine, 83-56. Of course, Hope coming off of a 3-point loss to rival Calvin. And Calvin will be making the trip to DeVos Fieldhouse February 2nd. Stay tuned for the latest edition of the rivalry. Hope Calvin wouldn't want it any other way. Bringing you back to play now.
The 200th meeting, Bergeron.
200th meeting, there you go. Special edition.
Special.
And it's Lewis who brings across the timeline. 57-52, it's a 5-point lead. Adrian keeping themselves in this game. Lewis drives inside, kicks outside to Hackert. Hackert is fouled. And a foul. It's on Caleb Ballantyne, his second, team's fourth.
And something that we haven't seen from the Dutch in the last couple of games for John and Bryce is usually they live at that free throw line, and that's not a place that they've really been at in the last couple games, and that's usually where they get a good bulk of their points from, is that free throw line. So with the Bulldogs having 4 fouls, I think it'd be a good idea for the Dutch to kind of go at the Bulldogs in a way where they can kind of draw those fouls and get themselves to the line.
Definitely, if you're able to deny a team a source of points, you've got to go ahead and do it. And I think this is just a matter of both teams playing at a very high level. That the better you get, the better you develop your skill, the less and less fouls you'll have. It's definitely something you get from practice and from experience on the court.
Absolutely, and it's blocked by Dennis Towns. Lewis with it now after the key block by Towns. It's Danny Beckman. It's Hackert now. Hackert to Lewis. Lewis tries to go inside. Nobody in the same area code, and it's picked up by Colbert. An ill-advised pass. Carter, you talked about ill-advised passes, and that's exactly what that was there. It's Hurd. Receiving chance of air ball from the Hope Faithful. And pass, the shot is up and good from Kalanji. So Kalanji with 20 points on the affair, 8 minutes and change remaining in the second half. 57-54, it's a good one here at DeVos.
Yeah, Kalanji with 20 points, 6 rebounds, really keeping it alive on the offensive end for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, really, it's been Kalanji and Harris. Beckman for 3, gets it to go. It's Danny Beckman, the sophomore from Shelby, Michigan. 60-54, big bucket there. Spin move, loses control, goes out of bounds, and Beckman goes into the third row to greet some fans, and he'll come back onto the court. 8 minutes remaining. Coming to the game for the Bulldogs, it's Caleb Ballantyne, who has 2 fouls. So he squeaks his way onto the court. I think there's a special shoe for toddlers that they wear when they squeak all the time, so parents know where they are.
Yep.
Maybe it's the latest edition of those.
I tell you what, if Nike needs more ideas, I tell you what, light up basketball shoes on the court. It'll definitely help you out. Definitely when the lights go down for your intro, I'll tell you what, you really got to stun your opponents. You got to stun the audience. But you know, some say I'm way ahead of myself. That's all right.
Another great idea from Bryce Robinson, the Trailblazer, according to Carly Manswell. 7:46 remaining in the second half. The foul's on Caleb Ballantyne, his 3rd. So it seems whenever he comes in, he picks up a foul. It's team 6th. 1 away from the bonus, as Carly, you mentioned. 1 away from that coveted spot on the charity stripe. It is Hackert to inbound. Hackert, one of the unsung heroes so far this afternoon, hitting some big shots. Towns back to Hackert. Hackert finds Lewis on the top of the perimeter looking for somewhere to go. Puts a little move on, being guarded by Wyatt Morris. Beckman, nowhere to go. Thought he was fouled. And it's going to be Adrian basketball. I am befuddled by that call, but I won't get an explanation. And it'll be Bulldog basketball. Take a look at the replay here. Kicks outside. Looked like he was fouled. I guess Granger stepped out of bounds. That's the explanation for the call. Thanks to the replay system and everybody involved with our production, Steve Secor, Alan Babbitt, as we head to timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. 60-54, the 6-point Dutchman lead. 17 remaining in the second half. Stay tuned for a wild finish at DeVos Fieldhouse. We'll step away right after this.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. This farm once belonged to Albertus Van Raalte, founding father of the city of Holland. And this house, built by his son Ben in 1872, has been known through the years as the Maples, due to the large trees in the front yard planted by Van Raalte himself. These trees stand today because of the industry and vision of Albertus Van Raalte. Today, the DeGraff Nature Center taps the maples and demonstrates how maple syrup was made centuries ago. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Exhilarating and thrilling game in front of this raucous crowd at DeVos. Thanks to Lawrence and Vanderswart making everything possible. Financial planning done right. For all your financial planning and investment needs, it's Lawrence and Vanderswart. 15 seconds will be on the shot clock for the Bulldogs of Adrian after the timeout by Kyle Lindsay. It's a 6-point lead. The outlet pass goes to Kalonji. Kalonji drives, tries to dunk it, but it's an offensive foul, and Lindsay's on the court berating the official.
We're going to see a replay of that.
He's going to get himself teed up, and he is heated. And he's going to get a technical foul, and this Hope crowd is loving it. And ill-advised with your team down 6, and we're going to send our best free throw shooter to the line.
You know, definitely I mentioned this before the timeout, that it's important for Adrian to, you know, kind of rise above those calls, but, you know, especially as an athlete myself, you know, sometimes it's hard to get so many unsatisfactory calls.
So typically the coach can send the best free throw shooter to the line. Right now it's Riley Lewis on a hot streak, but he sends Jason Beckman to the line instead. Beckman sinks the second technical shot, and the ball will go to the Flying Dutchman. So technical foul leads to points for the Dutch, and hopefully more as Towns will inbound to Beckman. Beckman brings it across the timeline. Beckman to Lewis. Lewis pulls up from the elbow. Yes, Riley Lewis for 2. 63-54, just under 7 minutes remaining.
You know, something I've been noticing of this second half Dutch, pardon me, on that foul. We've got a foul on Danny Beckman there with a two-hand. Anyways, something about this second half Hope team has been a fairly effective offense, but a strong defense has definitely been preventing Adrian to really put a lot on the board. And I think that definitely may seal the deal for the Dutchmen here if they continue with their defensive success.
And desperate shot thrown up by Kalonji, can't get to go. Beckman thinks about it, kicks it out to Lewis. Riley Lewis for 3, 66-54. He is 21 on the afternoon. It's 21 for 22. 66-54, the Hope lead. It's a full timeout. We'll step away and hear from our sponsors, Lords of Vandersward. Financial planning done right.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
As the last seconds of the Cupid Shuffle resound throughout DeVos Fieldhouse. Always a good time. I never learned that dance. Bryce, maybe you could help me with it sometime.
Oh, definitely. Let me know after this game. I'll definitely show you the ropes. Definitely must have in all of those middle school dances.
That's a classic.
I tried it once and blew my knee out, so I just retired after that.
You got some more issues besides dancing if your knees are blowing out.
Take you back to the game. It's 66-54, excuse me. 6:24 remaining in the second half. And as we come out of the timeout by Kyle Lindsay, Carly, what do you think are going to be some keys for this Adrian team as they try and claw back into this one?
I think for the Bulldogs, I mean, we talked about it in the break. They just have bench points. The Dutch have 16, and the Bulldogs only have 4. So really just kind of relying on number 35, Galgioni, and number 1, Harris, as their kind of offensive threats. but they can only do so much as before the Dutch kind of catch on to that, add some double teams in there, and you can't be perfect, you're going to miss some shots, so you need other players to get involved. And Hurd, who had 15 points in their last game, being so quiet today offensively, they just need to move the ball around, and if Kalonji is going to be kind of their main threat, they got to get him open more, set some picks to allow him a little bit more movement to get open.
Yeah, thank you, Carly. And so, Bryce, we heard from the one and only Carly Vanswell about keys for Adrian. Talk about the other way, keys for hope as they try and close out this game. What do you think will be two key three things that we should see from this Hope team?
Definitely, I mentioned it before, but the second half, Hope team has had a super effective defense, so definitely preventing Adrian players from being open, definitely closing up the inside, making them take long shots, because in the second half, I can say, Adrian hasn't been too hot on those long shots, definitely when it comes to three-pointers. And we're going to see an offensive chart, I believe.
And Jason Beckman, like you said, Bryce, draws the offensive foul. Just take a look at the replay here. Great job by Beckman of getting in position, being aware of where the player is at. Cerebral play by Jason Beckman, the senior from Shelby. Beckman brings it across the timeline, finds Lewis. Lewis has been the hot hand as of recent, and he's checked by number 4, Charlotte Hurd. And that's his second foul on the afternoon.
That's going to be the 10th foul for the Bulldogs. So we should see the Dutch at the line a little bit more in the last 5.5 minutes.
So Lewis at the charity stripe to shoot 2. It's a double bonus. First shot is up and good.
And definitely we can see that on the scoreboard. Adrian has 10 fouls, Hope has 5. And that could be a factor when it comes to the overall score here tonight.
And Trishawn Hurd brings it across the timeline, trying to instill some will into this offense. And it's Colbert with it now, working on Lewis. Colbert bottom of the anchor and gives it off to Harris. Tries to go down low. It's Hurd. Wyatt Morris off the glass with the right hand and gets a little runner to go. Granger to Beckman. Beckman just now crosses the timeline. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the second half. Beckman goes behind the back. It's Riley Lewis now, top the perimeter. Danny Beckman looks down low at Granger. Granger is stripped. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be an offensive. So is it offensive foul? No, it'll just be out of bounds. Deflection. So Adrian retains possession. And if I'm Granger, I should have just gone up right away instead of trying to dribble on the ground.
Sometimes that power dribble can cause you more issues when there's that much congestion in the paint.
Granger guarding Wyatt Morris. Kalanji from downtown can't get it to go. Battle for the ball. And it's corralled by the Bulldogs. Kalanji says, I'll try again. And he gets it to go. 68-61, the lead is 7.
Kalanji showing it that he can do it in the paint, but outside as well.
Definitely seeing a lot more intensity from head coach Kyle Lindsay, encouraging his players out there to get, hop on that horse, kind of jump on it and up that score, try to close the lead.
Nice backdoor cut by Beckman to Towns. And it's 2 for Dennis Towns. He has 5 on the afternoon. It's Hurd with it now. Hurd with 2 points. Kalanji over to Colbert. Colbert back to Kalanji. Kalanji for 3. And he gets to go. So suddenly it's a 2-possession game. Kalanji with 28 points, a leading scorer for this Bulldog team. It's Lewis trying to answer. Beckman to Granger. Granger goes cross court to Lewis. Lewis thinks about it, drives inside up off of the glass. Nobody in the same area code, and Coach Mitchell will take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout, 72-64. Hope in front, 3:19 remaining in the second half. We'll step away right after this.
We are interested in the history of our community. In 1851, Holland's founder, Albertus Van Raalte, wanted to establish a secondary school where students could get the best education with an emphasis on Christian character. Originally called Pioneer School, Van Raalte set up classes in an orphanage on 12th Street. By 1857, the new Van Vleck Hall was completed. It provided classrooms, a library, and housing for 10 students, along with the school principal. In 1862, the school was renamed Hope College, and the first graduating class received their diplomas in the spring of 1866. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Update. In Grand Rapids, Michigan, it's Hope with a 49-38 lead. 2:50 remaining in the fourth quarter. Hope trying to ring in the new year with a win at Van Nord. 72-64, the Hope lead. It's Harris with it now to Colbert. Colbert swings down low to Hurd. Back outside to Ansara. He thinks about it, decides not to, and gives it off to Kalanji. Kalanji, base of the anchor, throws it down to Hurd. And Hurd is going to be a little talk in between the two teams here.
Definitely a little bit of maybe a little forearm shove from Granger, but definitely
I think
the
it was
Bulldogs
because
were.
Beckman was trying to get up.
Yeah.
And I think Hurd thought it was a little bit more than that, so Granger tried to separate them.
Take a look at the replay here. Yeah, Beckman was trying to get up.
Yeah, definitely a little acting. Get Adrian a Oscar there.
Bryce, you go ahead and call the Oscar Association. They'll think about it.
Definitely,
3 minutes remaining in the second half. Now the referees will converse about something. Coach Mitchell not happy, looking for an explanation.
However, I do understand a little bit of physicality here at the 3 minutes left in the game.
And we're looking to see if it'll be a flagrant one on Jason Beckman.
Yep, so I think they're trying to decide how many seconds on the shot clock. So they're going to move it to 29 seconds.
So Hurd will inbound. Harris for three, can't get it to go. Ball goes out of bounds, but it's corralled by Hope.
Definitely an excellent, just a great display of effort there from the Hope men right there.
Yeah, it's a hustle play by Lewis.
Lewis with it now, trying to put this game away. 2:40 remaining. Lewis goes inside to Beckman, goes inside to Granger, and he's fouled and head to the line. And the foul is on 24. Kashawn Wyatt and Morris, the junior forward from Ypsilanti. From Arbor Preparatory High School. Granger on the line to shoot two. Shot is up and good. Granger shooting 68% from the line during the season. It's a nice find by Lewis to Beckman to Granger inside. Granger gets the second shot to go. 74-64, the 10-point lead for this Dutch team. Time not on their side if you're a Bulldog fan. Harris trying to work. Kicks out to Kalanji. Kalanji for three. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Teddy Ray. And Beckman will slow things down.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact down low.
Lewis with it now. To Beckman. Beckman to Lewis. Lewis to Granger. Top of the perimeter. It's Lewis with it now, working on Harris. Hard drive with the left. Switch to the right up off the glass. Can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Harris. Harris will push the floor. Harris being worked on by Beckman. And we'll get a foul call.
I think it's going to be on Granger.
And it will be on Preston Granger. That is his third, team's 7th. So now the Bulldogs have Adrian in the bonus. Wyatt Morris will be shooting.
And these free throws are very important.
And he gets the first one to go. Coming to the game for the Dutch, it's Calvin Hackert. 1:52 remaining.
Wyatt Morris, 56% from the line.
And the second shot is up and good. Giroux, the freshman guard from Fort Wayne, checks into the game for this Bulldog team. It's Hackert with it now. Adrian in the full court press. Hackert being pressured. Little hand check by Harris, and he's fouled. So Hackert will head to the line. Big free throws coming up here.
Definitely, I'm really not sure if the fouling strategy will work out for Adrian in the end. Again, it'll depend on the foul and how many points we're able to get from it, but Adrian may be running up the score on themselves with these fouls.
That's a different way of looking at it. Thank you, Bryce. And Hackert makes his first shot. Wyatt Morris comes into the game for the Bulldogs.
The Dutch are going to have to be careful on that full court pressure. Hackert going down on that sideline, and he's going to get easily trapped in that corner. He almost picked up his dribble, looked for the pass for Beckman, but he can't pick up his dribble, him nor Beckman in that situation in that corner. Turnovers are bound to happen.
And Hackert exits to a nice round of applause. Solid effort on the day. Some big three-pointers down the stretch. 1:40 remaining in this contest. It's Harris with it to Kalanji. Kalanji drives. Awkward looking pass inside, and the shot is up and no good from Wyatt Morris. Struggle for the ball. That's Riley Lewis on the ground battling for position. There's a scrum on the ground, and it's a jump ball, and the ball will go to Adrian. Goodness.
That was a hustle play by a lot of different players on that. The DeVos faithful loving that.
Definitely a lot of heart shown from both teams. Definitely willing to get down there and get a little down and dirty in there.
1 minute and 24 seconds remaining. 76-66. This game has not failed to disappoint. And we have a final from Van Nord Arena in Grand Rapids. Hope winners 50-38. Good to see them get a win over the rival Calvin Knights, and Harris hits the deck, but before he does, he gets the shot to go. A chance to complete the three-point play. And the foul is on number 4, Danny Beckman, his third, team's 8th.
We'll take a look at the replay here. Definitely a great effort by both teams here. Just very skillful display to actually make it on that shoot there.
And it is Harris on the line, trying to complete the three-point play, trying to get his team back into this. It's not impossible, but is it plausible? We'll find out. Ball is stripped, and it's a foul, and it'll be Hope basketball. Looking for an explanation. It'll be Calvin Hackert 2 inbound, though. And Adrian in the full court press. That's Lewis with it now. Valuable seconds ticking off of the clock. Hackert with it now. How he finds Beckman, who crosses the top. Goes left, double team, swings it off to Lewis. Lewis goes right, drives inside, and comes back out. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis, layup off of the glass, can't get it to go. And the putback attempt by Ray is no good. Giroux now. Harris for 3, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Granger to Beckman. 30 seconds remaining in the contest. 6 seconds separate game clock from shot clock. Lewis will hold. He's being double teamed now. Finds Ray to Hackert.
76-68 and now fouled.
And he's fouled by Colbert.
And the Bulldogs waiting to foul someone that wasn't Lewis or Beckman, so Hackett, the first one with the ball long enough for them to be able to foul.
But Hackett, one of those players today, has been really key offensively, so maybe shoot themselves in the foot there.
19.9 left.
Definitely, I agree. Again, we're seeing a definitely more effective Hope defense, although Adrian has been able to convert some points here. Just seems to be a little futile for the Adrian Bulldogs.
And the shot is up and no good. 15 seconds remaining. Kalanji drives. Harris tries to make something happen. Shot is off the front of the rim and no good. And Lindsay instructing his team not to foul as this Hope crowd rises to its feet in appreciation of what they just saw. 76-68, the Hope victory on a beautiful Saturday afternoon from the Voss Fieldhouse. So, Hope will improve overall to 2-2 at 500 in conference, 9-6 overall. Adrian falls to 0-4 in conference, 3-12 overall. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brajan Crispin, joined by Carly Van Swoel, Bryce Robinson. Stay tuned for our next broadcast. Thank you, good afternoon, and Roll Dutch.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a final from Grand Rapids. The Flying Dutch defeated Calvin by a score of 50-38.